still go, 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 go.
Knudson,
Tursky, baby.
this is Two Guys Talking Golf.
What is up, my man?
We got a special little episode today.
I'm pretty excited for this episode, to be honest with you. This is a little different than we've ever done, really.
I'm not sure exactly how much people care, but I know people care a little bit because I get hit up in the DMs all the time, like, what's your setup? What are you playing? So we are going to go through both of our what's in the bags, our current setups.
Yep.
And I think what we're going to do is put it to a vote on Instagram whose bag is not, I guess you can't say better because it's all like just depending on your preference and stuff, but see which bag people would most want to trade with, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Like, which bag would you rather play? You know, if you had to play one of our bags, which one is going in? And I think it'll be interesting because I think mine is going to be, I think, far different than people would expect right now. I mean, this could definitely change tomorrow, but
And it will.
And it will. It definitely will. And then I think yours is going to surprise me a little bit because I don't even remember what you're playing. So
Well, I got some new stuff in the bag too.
Okay. All right. So it's it's definitely done something different. Like I said, I think mine is going to surprise people. Just as you go through it, I think people are going to be a little shocked of what's in there and surprised that some things are not in there at the moment. But yeah, we like I said, mine changes on literally a daily basis. Like I'm playing, like when I play in my league and all that. Like I don't play the same 14 clubs and shafts more than maybe like a couple times a year. Like that's just there's always new stuff in there, and like I said, this is something that if you and I right now were to have to go play for money, like today, these are the sticks I'm bringing.
Yep,
so
that's the set I went with too. I'm more on the side of like not changing for 5 years at a time, but this happens to be like one of my rotation years, so I do have a lot of different stuff in the bag. I still have a little bit of the old stuff, but a lot of new, so it should be entertaining. I think you'll be finding out a lot of the clubs for the first time, what I got in the bag. But before we get into that, it's John Deere week. Greg Moore's out there solo. I didn't join him this week. We got Scotland coming up, so I took a week off travel. He's cut from a different cloth. He just doesn't stop. He's a road warrior. Yeah. He shot 1 million what's in the bags this week. I know the field's not like super strong, but if you're interested in some of those like mid-range, maybe obscure guys, what they're playing, you could scroll in there for hours because I didn't count the what's in the bags, but he did do a lot. John Deere, I mean, there's not too much equipment news coming out of John Deere this week. The biggest equipment news, actually, I know we want to like stay away from having this be a running segment, but people are asking about the Live Tour, how they're handling equipment, like how the players are handling their equipment needs. We do have that answer. We didn't talk about this last week, right?
No. Well, you and I kind of like speculated. Like we kind of brought up, how it's being handled, but we didn't know pretty much anything yet, other than who was basically going to do, who's going to be on site, who's going to do the work, all that, and that was it. That's all we kind of knew. Okay,
because I did talk to the guy who will be doing it. I talked to him, I guess, last week after the podcast. So we do have an article up on golfwx.com if you want to check that out. But I talked to Ben Genta. I believe that's how he pronounces his name. It's spelled Giunta. And he has been a fitter for years and years and years. He actually was manning the Nike tour van when they were still making golf clubs. Obviously, they since exited the hard goods industry in 2016, so no need to have a tour fitter out there for Nike. They still do, obviously, apparel and shoes, so they have a van out there, but it has nothing to do with golf equipment any longer. So after 2016, Ben actually bought the Nike Tour van, and it already had like grinding wheel, loft line machine, et cetera, all the tools necessary in that truck. And he started a company called The Tour Van, which he typically posts up at Pumpkin Ridge, which is the site of the Live Tour Series, whatever it's officially called. That's where they're playing this week. So he will be doing all the equipment for this week, but he's also contracted to do the remainder of the events in America, and I think going forward.
Yeah.
So whatever events are in, Canada, Mexico, America, I think he will be doing with his tour van. He did say there's plans for a quote-unquote larger van going forward. It could possibly be branded by Liv. I don't know if they even know the details yet, exactly how it's going to work out, but he's taken his tour van out to Pumpkin Ridge, which is already parked there, and then he'll kind of be following the tour around, helping all the players with their equipment needs. 48 guys. I don't know how sticky it's going to be with acquiring equipment from the Titleist, Taylormade, Callaway, Pings of the world, how he's going to source all the shafts. I'm sure he does have inventory of stuff already, but how he's going to handle that, I'm not sure. Now, he has a partner with him, Jason Warner is his name, who typically works at the tour van in Nashville, Tennessee. So the tour van's just like kind of an independent fitting system. You go, you set up an appointment with either Ben out in Pumpkin Ridge, or you set up an appointment with Jason out in Tennessee, and you can go get a fitting from them. You can go take in your irons if you want to get them reshafted, you want to get something regripped, new shaft on the driver. Like, they handle all that stuff independently. They just happen to have gotten the call to help out with the Live Tour equipment. So however you feel about the tour itself, like the Live Tour itself, however you feel about it, Ben is a real fitter. Okay?
Yeah.
He just wants to get players dialed into the clubs that are right for them. And I would recommend him. If you want to go to the tour van, you're in the area, I would recommend him as a fitter. He's on our Golf WRX best of series. Like, we do all the best driver of the year, best 3-wood, best iron. He is on that panel.
Yep.
So he has kind of our stamp of approval. And I know his world might change here coming up because of the tour. I don't know if he got the $200 million bag from them or what's going on behind the scenes, but very capable fitter, and that's how they're going to handle it, at least for the time being. The next 5 events or whatever they have the rest of the year, and then I'm sure if it goes well, he'll be the guy going forward. So whoever wanted that answer, you got it.
And Ben, like you just said, I mean, Ben's been part of our best driver, best series. We basically pull fitters across the country, the top fitters across the country with what the best products are, what they're selling, whatever. And I was fortunate this year to do help on that series, and I got to talk to Ben a handful of times, and to say that man knows about fitting and all that, I mean, that's a complete understatement. The guy he's super nice. He's an absolute genius when it comes to fitting. I mean, he was schooling me on stuff that he was telling me about certain clubs and all that. So, like you said, I mean, super capable guy. Had worked on tour before with some tour players, and like you said, I'm very interested too. Like we talked about last week, new Titleist TSR stuff was hitting tour. Is Titleist going to ship him a big box of TSR stuff? Is he going to have those heads on that van for the people who want to either try it or on Titleist staff or whatever? Those details will be interesting as they start to come out, and as we kind of see what happens this week and going forward. It'll be interesting to see how that works, because I don't think a company like Titleist or whoever has a problem with Ben building clubs, because I mean, the guy can fit and build. I mean, he can do it with the best of them. So I don't think it's that. I think it's just an interesting thing with the logistics of getting him the products and where he's going to be and things like that. So it's interesting. I think it's kind of cool that he's doing that. I mean, it's a pretty cool gig, and we'll see how it rolls this week. I mean, we definitely need to get some info to see how everything goes down this week out there in Oregon.
Yeah, he's just one of the smartest guys when it comes to golf equipment, just like in general.
Yeah.
Maybe not engineering-wise, like literally designing product, but if you want to know anything about any club, you want to know how to fit a golfer into a certain club shaft length, like anything that has to do with golf equipment, he's one of the smartest people in the world.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I would.
So congrats to him on getting that gig. I mean, assuming a lucrative gig.
I'm hoping he did get the bag. Hoping somebody handed him some cash there.
He deserves the bag. That's a big job. 48 players, so much going on behind the scenes, just shipping, sourcing product, obviously getting the product ready, cleaning it up, taking it down. Him and Jason are going at it basically by themselves. So good luck out there, boys. Now let's get to let's just get right into it. I don't know how long this is going to take, but let's go through our what's in the bags. I think the best way to probably keep this entertaining enough is to alternate back and forth, go driver down.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I like it. I think that's a good way to start, and then we'll end with putter, which for you could go one of two ways. I have an idea of what I think is in the bag, but you could not surprise me, but it's one of two, I believe. I mean, you could totally throw something a wrench in the gears, but I don't think so. But yeah, I think we go that way.
One second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. I need to count my clubs because I might have 16 right now.
Oh,
I'm not USG legal, I don't think. Let me just make
14.
Sure.
I have 14. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, I got 16 right now. So,
I mean, I probably had more than that when I started, but then I had to whittle it down. Oh boy,
take this out.
Now, anybody listening,
I have weird gapping.
If you were to say,
this is probably why I play 16. But go ahead.
So I was just, as you were counting and deciding what needs to go, I was saying if anybody thought at the beginning of this show, if somebody had too many clubs in their bag, I think a lot of people would have lost money. I'm going with Tursky on this one. Or going on, not too many people would have bet their money on Tursky having too many clubs in the bag when it comes to this little show.
Listen, but, honestly, on a given day, like on a given maybe practice day, or I'm just going out playing with some buddies, I probably have around 21 clubs because I also keep a couple lefties in the bag just in case you got to win a bet or you hit it up against a cactus or something like that. And then I'm usually testing something. So
yeah, I'm the same way. Like the only reason I have 14 in here is because we're doing this. Like I'm pulling clubs. I had to do the same thing, pull some out to make sure that I was legal. But yeah, you're lefty also. If case putting goes south, you got to pull that lefty 2-ball out.
I actually have a Spider it's got a blue crown on it right now. That's my backup lefty putter. Well, my backup righty putter is a lefty putter, so I'm a mess. But all right, let's get
all over the place.
Let's get cranking. You want to start with
sounds good.
Driver? Kick us off.
I can go start with driver. This is going to be this came down to really two sticks. So one I've talked about on my show a lot. The one that came in second is, to be honest, PXG Gen 5 0311 XF. I've been hitting that thing really, really good lately. Yeah, it's been really good head. It's a 12-degree head turned down to like 11, wide open. But anyway, that's second place. So what's rocking in the bag right now? Callaway Rogue ST Max LS 10.5 head with a Fujikura Ventus Blue TR 6X. So this has been, I'll tell you what, man, I haven't played a Callaway driver in the bag since Original Epic was the last one that was in my bag, and I played a good amount. I just haven't found success. Like I hit some long drives with them, but I would just not consistently find the fairway, and I was just kind of spraying it. And this bad boy here, I mean, the ball speed on miss hits is fantastic. Stability when you do hit it off the toe or low heel, I mean, it stays straight. I mean, it's just, for being a little bit of a lower spinning head and not being 100% draw bias, it is really forgiving. And yeah, so far I've been hitting it really, really well. So Rogue ST Max LS has been the driver for your boy right now. If I had to go play for $5,
I like it. I have also not played a Callaway driver, well, for way longer than you. I played a Taylormade SLDRS. For fans of us, I mean, they know that for for years and years. Maybe 6 years I had that in the bag, and then the last like year and a half I've kind of been in limbo. I've been basically just testing a bunch of new stuff, keeping the SLDR in the bag for when things get like super squirrely. I've officially made a driver switch, and this might be one of those ones that's probably in the bag for like 6-7 years. And that's
really
that's no
wow.
Yeah, that's no lie. That's no lie. This is like the perfect driver for me. I've been hitting it unbelievably well. I think I'm up like not even kidding, like 20 yards over the SLDRS, and I hit it straighter. It's really helped me eliminate the hook, a little bit more fade bias, and I too have a Callaway.
The Rogue ST?
I don't have enough space to like show this off, but I got the LS triple diamond, 10.5 degree head,
triple diamond LS,
and then shaft wise, I got the Mitsubishi Tensei White AV 65X.
Nice.
You can tell I'm down a little speed because I go
head.
X instead of the TS, but it just it just has that fade bias for me. I love the way it looks at a dress. I love the sound and the feel. I really like the matte black crown with a little carbon fiber peeking through, just to remind you that you got some tech in your hands. Golf Pride grip. So that's where I'm at. I believe the shaft is tipped an inch, for anyone that cares.
Ooh, yeah. See, I think a lot of people do care, and I'm straight in 6X on the TR. So, but I really like the triple diamond as well. It's just when I hit triple diamond side by side of the Max LS, I could get away with a couple more bad shots of the Max LS. But I did like the fade bias of that triple diamond head. It is really nice.
I hit all the heads. Everything else is just a little draw bias for me. And as a guy who, I like to turn it over. I like to have some fade bias in the head. And if I have a driver that, like, on my stock shot is turning over a little bit too much, I just know it's not the driver for me. As much as I like the head or I like the feel, I just can't really play it. That's why I always played that SLDRS for years. I think I had a little hot melt in there as well to make it even more fade bias, but this triple diamond L is no joke, man. I've been loving it. I've been hitting it really well.
It's for real.
For real.
Did you?
Okay.
What was your second play? Like, did you hit anything else that was like close that had a chance, or was it pretty much you hit that and it was over?
I've hit everything, like every single new driver that's available. I've hit, and I didn't really consider making like the full-time switch to any of them. Like, nice. I was trying.
Solid,
I just didn't
man.
fall in love with the head shaft combo, and I found this one, and it's just like I've been driving it really, really well. So
nice.
And it's not my swing.
Wow, both playing Callaway drivers.
I know.
Interesting. We're both playing Rogue STs.
It's a good line
I didn't see that coming. It really is.
So I'm going to move along.
All right.
I'm going to move along. Oh, real quick,
So,
driver head cover.
The OG. Yeah, I took mine off. But yeah, I've got it over there too. Heck yeah, the OG.
Two Guys Talking Golf head cover.
So,
good.
There is one more of those untouched in the basement of headquarters. I went down there to get a box to ship a club.
No way.
And sitting down there is one brand new, still has the tag on it, everything. It's absolutely flawless. So there is one.
We might have to give it away.
That still exists. Oh, the OG. So that was one. We did 10 of those. I think it was 10 or 12. That was it. They're all gone. We gave a bunch away back in the day and gave a few to some friends and some coworkers, and they don't exist anymore. So
yeah, so for the people who are just listening on the podcast or they don't know what the hell we're talking about right now, we did a limited run of Two Guys Talking Golf leather head covers. They're awesome head covers. But that was like 5 years ago, our first time around doing this podcast before I took a little hiatus. But I've always rocked the head cover. Even when I worked for other companies, I was still rocking the Two Guys Talking Golf head cover because I like it. I think it's really cool.
It was fly.
Right. Anyway, moving down from the driver into the Fairway Woods. Well, it should be the Fairway Woods, but I have the 12-degree Aero Burner mini driver. No big deal. Hazel. And then I got the Graphite Design Tour AD DI 7X Orange. It may never come out of the bag.
Come on, you haven't hit anything that can take that thing out yet?
I like the new Taylormade mini drivers. I never got the shaft right, and I just hit it a little bit too high. Like, this gives me that nice penetrating, controlled ball flight, and I could turn it over if I need to. I could hit a little cut if I need to. Like, it's not in the bag to go as far as it possibly can. It's there as a 3-wood off the tee replacement that I'm a little more comfortable with hitting than a 3-wood off the tee. Like, I could tee it up a little bit higher and kind of let it rip, or I could tee it up like really low and hit those little peelers. Do I hit it great from the turf? Not really, but my philosophy has always been like, if I'm 268 out and there's trouble by the green, I shouldn't be going for that anyway. I should be laying up. So there's my mini driver case.
Yeah, and I get that. I'm hoping that maybe when TSR2 Plus, Titleist TSR2 Plus comes out, maybe we can get that thing knocked out of the bag. That'd be really nice.
It's possible. I'm going to give that a try because that is up my alley.
Because that thing's hideous. That air burner it doesn't look good.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, listen. We're boys.
Crown off.
We've been friends a long time.
Let me see if I can
show the crown off.
Can you see that?
Please don't. Unfortunately.
Is that getting it? It's just very dirty.
Oh yeah,
it's got dirt. It's got dirt all over the crown.
I think the last time I saw it was abandoned, and it's not even white anymore. It's just kind of a shade of gray. But that thing is. I mean, I'm glad you. I think I tried hitting it when you had it, like that banded, like on the range, and that is just there's not a club for me. So, but kind of shocked that thing's still in the bag. I thought you would have had something newer in the old 3-wood.
Nope, it's made it all these years.
So 3-wood. The funny thing is, we're both a little older. I'm not near as old as you. Let's put it that way. Oh. And we're also the same brand. And I'm on the 3-wood hunt right now. So the 3-wood right now, like I said, if I'm going to play for money, this is the one I'm putting in. I'm liking the Cobra LTDX Max. I'm really liking the Rogue ST Max. But right now, the old Sim2 Max.
Ooh.
3-wood.
With a bunch of lead tape on there.
Little lead tape on the toe, just to get the swing weight back up.
I love it. You're such a gamer.
The old boy sits pretty neutral. Like, this head actually sits pretty neutral. It doesn't sit too shut, which I know a lot of the Sim Max 2 or Sim 2 Maxes did. And this has got a little bit of a, I wouldn't say surprise, but the Fujikura Speeder Nx 70X in here. Very, very little tipping. I mean, if anything, maybe a half inch. I don't tip them too hard because I don't bring that much heat. But this thing here is, a 3 that I can hit off the deck. I can hit off the tee. It's not crazy long. Like some of the newer stuff will definitely go farther, but I can hit it. I can get it up in the air decently off the turf, off the tee. I can kind of let it rip, and it's pretty darn straight. There's not a ton of drawbys to it, and this Speeder Nx is a little more stout than I think a lot of people give it credit for. I think since it's not a Ventus, people kind of, think it's kind of soft and high launching, high spinning. It's legit like mid-launch, mid-low spin, and it's pretty good in the fairway. So I built this thing up last year, found some success with it, and then I just kind of hit it better as the year went on. But like I said, if I had to go play right now, I'm putting this bad boy in there. But the Rogue ST and that Cobra LTDX Max are following closely behind. So those are getting close.
Fair enough. Get yourself a mini driver, maybe you'll hit it better. Okay.
I'm not.
I'm going to surprise some people here, I think. I'm going to surprise a lot of people. Yeah. Now.
Okay. Hold on.
I've been on record for years, basically, saying that Fairway Woods are overrated and I don't play a hybrid.
Yep.
That has changed.
You've been adamant about it.
That has changed.
What? Oh,
can you see that?
Man. Well, is it an Epic Super?
It's an Epic Super hybrid.
That thing is a cannon. What loft?
It's 21 degrees. It's a 4. I do have to get it reshafted.
And it probably goes like a 3.
The shaft in here is pretty weak. It's actually the stock shaft that came on it. I'm not even going to shout it out because people are going to give me grief about it. I have to get it reshafted. Like, it's not the right shaft, but I love this club head. Like, it's a little bit deeper on the face. I feel like I can hit it all over the map, and it kind of just comes out like, I would say it's high launching, but it feels low spinning. Where,
oh yeah, for
like,
sure.
if I'm hitting it into a par 5, I feel pretty comfortable with it. If I'm hitting it off the tee, like, even if I want to flight it down, I kind of have control over that ball flight. I don't know what it is. Like, it doesn't spin way too much. It's not like a tour hybrid head. It's almost a game improvement type head where I can get low spin out of it. It's like I can hit all these different shots, and I'm just really comfortable with it. So I want to get it dialed
now that
into
thing,
the
again,
exact correct shaft, but I've been hitting it with, like, okay, well, I'll just say the shaft real quick. It's got the Aerotech steel fiber FC75. Okay?
Yep.
It's a twig. But I need to get it shafted up, something really stout, and then I might just hit that all the time. Like, I'm really happy with the head.
I mean,
even though the shaft isn't completely right, it's still not spinning way too much, and I have a lot of control with it. So that's where I'm at in my life right now.
I like that the trend you are on the top of your bag is super deep face clubs that you can just rip off the tee. Like, if you're playing like a short par 4, you can just annihilate that thing off a tee because of that deeper face. So I've hit that.
That's what I have them in the bag for, though. They're mostly tee clubs. Like, how often am I 243 yards out in the fairway where I think I have a legit shot of, like, carving it into the flagstick? You know what I mean? Like, that's just not a shot I value.
Yeah.
To have in the bag to take up room in my setup. That's just me.
I hit that in the 16 degree, and it is insanely long. So
that's
and you're right though. Like, you're right though. I mean, like, when I hit that thing, I thought it was going to go straight in the air, super spinny, whatever, and it didn't. Like, I mean, it kind of came out flat. Went a long way. It's super easy to hit. So that thing is it's not bad. Yeah, shaft wise. I mean, I think something like a Ventus Black 9TX could be pretty money. I'm gonna go here. I just kind of switched up this year. I was a 3 hybrid guy for pretty much most of my career, and I don't hit it as high. And this year, it's in the bag. It is the PXG 0311 XF 7-wood.
Oh my god!
Set.
I had no idea you were playing a 7.
Set -1, so it's a 22 degree head, -1 in the flat setting.
Wow.
It sits dead. It sets actually open. It's the only 7-wood I've ever put on the set down on the ground that sits open. But it does, the carbon crown. And the same thing, like you said, it got a little deeper face to it. So when you, if you want to kind of hit this thing off the tee, you got no problem. You got a lot of space. But off the deck, it just goes straight. Like, it just goes in the air and it goes straight. And I've got a little bit of a rarity for a shaft, but one that is probably one of the smoothest shafts out there if you've ever hit one. And it is a Nippon NS Regio Formula MB Plus 75X, and it weighs in at like 79 grams.
Wow.
Uncut. So it's like an 80-gram shaft, which is why it's in the 7-wood. And again, I don't think it's tipped a ton. I want to say it's maybe 3/4 of an inch, something like that. It's not crazy, but probably one of the smoothest shafts you'll ever hit if you can get your hands on one. But this thing has just been uber consistent. All the heavy weights out in the toe. So I mean, it's just set up to not go left. And it pretty much just goes dead straight. So I've hit some greens with this thing that I was shocked that they held. It's probably about, when I originally got it, I kind of thought it was going to be like that 215-ish type club. And if you really rip it, I mean, it's 225. I mean, it's definitely longer than I thought it would be. But it just goes so much higher and lands so much softer than my 3 hybrid. I don't know. I can't get out of the bag right now. It's so good.
I fully support high lofted fairways. I don't currently have one in my bag. That's just not where I'm at right now. I haven't found like D1 and D setup with the right hosel settings, like, for me personally. I feel like I've found
Yep.
gold with the super hybrid, so that's where I'm staying for the moment. If and when I do find that right 7-wood or 9-wood, I'm throwing that thing in the bag though immediately. Okay, so we're getting into like this is the problem area in my bag. Obviously, I have that hybrid.
Okay.
These are the clubs like I had to take out just real quick. So I have a T200 4-iron shafted up with like a graphite design.
Yeah.
ADDI. I'm not sure about it yet. I don't know how I like the graphite shaft in there. So that's like kind of my hold up on keeping it in the bag. And then I just have like a backup Mizuno JPX 4-iron
19 tour.
that I just keep around because I haven't been loving hitting the graphite 4-iron. Although I
understand
it's really hot off the face. I just don't feel like I have a bunch of control with it. So like hitting it off the fairway into a green, I'm not loving like my accuracy with it. Obviously, it's like swing better, Tursky. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to match up my bag to be as best as it possibly can. It's a great club off the tee, but is that why I have it in the bag? Not really. What is still like actually in my bag for like shots I don't want to hit with a hybrid, and just because I really like the club, it's like my reliable off the tee short par 4. If I need to hit like a stinger into a par 5 green, if the wind's up, I still have the Callaway Apex.
Oh,
UT
yeah.
at 18 degrees. And then I have a Project X 6.5 steel shaft in it, which is probably why I haven't been able to transition super easily into the DI in the T200 because I'm used to swinging steel shafts with irons like strictly. So that's my dilemma. I've had that in the bag for probably 7 years.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's been around a long time. I mean, and you're right. I mean, your Project X 6.5 is probably like 122 grams, 123 grams, and then you go to a DI 95 at 90-some grams. So, but that T200, I mean, those are good heads. So it'll be interesting to see if that makes its way into the bag eventually. But
I love it. I just think I might need to reshaft it into steel. Like, I do encourage amateur golfers, especially if you're struggling with like getting height or getting speed, to definitely try out graphite, at least in your long irons. It's definitely going to help. For me, it's like you said, it's kind of just a weight thing. And my entire career, I've been playing with super heavy, super stiff shafts in irons. So that's just like what I'm used to. That's the feel that I'm used to, and it's just a lot lighter than the rest of my irons. Kind of been throwing me off. I mean, I rip it really high and it goes far. It's just like, where's it going? I'm not quite sure. I don't have like the face awareness with it yet. I'm working on it. So I carry 17 or 16 or 17 clubs. That's my solution to the problem.
I'm totally in that game, man. I'm all about it. And I have not traditionally been a utility guy, but my irons, I'm going to say the 4-iron for my iron set is just a little too demanding. So I needed something to give me a little help. Launch it maybe a little higher, hit a little further, all that jazz.
Talk to him.
And I've kind of been going between two clubs. So the one that's not in the bag right now is the Mizuno Pro Fly High 4-iron. So the all black one, the same one that like Cam Smith, Adam Scott, all those guys play. And for whatever reason, like I love the look, I love everything about it. I'm just not hitting it well, and it's my swing. I mean, let's be honest, my swing. So the one that's in the bag right now, and do not judge the ferrule work because I have not turned it down because I didn't know if it was going to stay in the bag yet.
You had your hand covered up the ferrule, like don't look at it.
I know. I'm like, let me hold it like this. Is the Tour Edge, the new C722 Tie Utility 4.
Okay.
So utility iron, titanium face, and this thing here, it's a little shorter heel to toe than the Mizuno, and I've got a KBS PGI 90-gram shafted here.
How high do you hit that? Yeah, do you hit that really high, or is it more penetrating?
No, it's a little more penetrating, and kind of with you, like I hit it a little more off the tee than I do off the turf. But yeah, it's not crazy high launching. I kind of thought it would be higher, and that's when I hit it, it was definitely flatter. So that's why this PGI is in there, just to see, just to get it up a little higher in the air. But this thing here, I mean, the ball speed on miss hits is really, really good, and being able to have a little more beef there, a little more ball speed at the top end of the bag is always solid. But no, it's a little flatter than I thought. I thought it would go straight up, and it really doesn't. But so far, like I said, same thing. A good looking club when you set it down, not a ton of offset. It's just it's pretty solid. So that's been my 4-iron in the bag.
I like that. A little something different there. Tour Edge, getting the shout out. Okay. So I'm going to get into...
Hey.
I don't have a mix set, right? Okay. Just making sure. I've been doing a lot of iron work and testing and just figuring stuff out. But I'm officially comfortable and have my new gamer set of irons. And they're probably not going anywhere. Like, you know how I get down. I find something I like. I keep it in the bag for 5-6 years. And I think these are my irons going forward. So, Titleist T100s. They are no joke.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I thought for sure you were going to pull out ZX7s. I don't know why.
Nope. I actually don't have them, so that's part of the problem. I've obviously tested them. The last time I did like a full fitting where I hit everything, like all blades, cavity backs, etc. I got fit into the JPX Tour Mizuno irons, but I hit these T100s against them, and they're just better in pretty much like every way for me. Slightly longer, a little bit lower spin, and a little bit more forgiveness. So those are kind of the three you're looking for.
Yep.
What else? The shaft. That's going to be upside down.
Oh, those AMT
Blacked out
whites and Onyx. I
AMT
like that.
X100s. Yeah, so X100s, it's a little bit lighter than what I'm used to. At some point, I may switch these shafts out. It's possible. They're still in, like it's the first month that I've had them, so I'm just getting used to them, and I'm kind of like, I'm letting it rock. Like, I'm letting my swing kind of develop, because that's what I got fit into when I was at Titleist at Oceanside. I got fit into these irons, so I'm just kind of letting it do its work. I've been hitting them very well. I'm super happy with them. I don't know if I'm married to staying in those shafts. Like, I might switch back to an X100 Tour issue at some point down the road. Like, if I'm going to keep these heads in play for 6 years, just make sure they're perfect for me. But right now, that's what I'm going with, and I like them. Getting used to them at the moment, and I go 5 through pitching wedge on those. I do have the pitching wedge.
I like it. Yeah.
What's cool about the pitching wedge is that it has like can you see that? The degrees written on on top.
The 46 degree on it.
Yeah. So it's definitely 46 degrees confirmed.
All right. Well, I do love the T100s. They were one of my favorite. They're probably my second in line to what I'm about to pull out now. And so, I mean, they're definitely great. Right now, it's a close run between T100 and the Taylormade P770. And
okay.
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
I thought you were Shrixoned up.
Well, the other one that I think people were expecting were the PXGs, the Gen 5s. But P770, it's just one of those, like, kind of cheater clubs for the guy like me who, you don't want something big and huge, but you need a little speed, you need a little forgiveness. Kind of need all those things. P770 does it. It's a little lower spinning than I'd like it to be. I think I'd like a little bit of spin, but playing the new KBS Tour Light shaft. This shaft band is the regular flex shaft band, but these are not. These are stiff flex, but it's actually a pretty nice shaft. It's like 105 grams, I think. It got kind of that mid ball flight, but pretty consistent. But yeah, the P770s are just. They're that cheater club where, I can play I can play the whole set for the most part. I mean, the 4-iron I don't. But I play that. But when I get down to the pitching wedge, I do toss in a little milled grind 3 46 degree.
Wow, okay. Do you like using the wedge instead of the iron?
So, kind of. So my thing was, the past few years, I started doing a lot more pitching and chipping with my pitching wedge. Like before, I was always like a 50 degree or even the sand wedge. Even if I'm just off the green, I try to get a sand wedge there. And I've realized I've been, starting to get more consistent with, doing those shots, little pitch shots just off the green, stuff like that with a pitching wedge. So I got one of these and threw it in the bag, and I lose a little bit of distance with it. So this is actually bent strong. It's 45 because it's not as hot as the P770, but the versatility around the green, hitting some shots and things like that is just really good. So, the old raw rusted face right there. But I threw the MG3 in for the pitching wedge. But the 770s are like I said, they're just kind of a cheater club, man. Just easy to hit.
I feel like the industry is in a weird spot in that section of the bag right now. Like, some people are going traditional wedges to the 46. I know some guys on tour are even testing a 9-iron with the traditional wedge shape, which, if someone actually ends up putting it in the bag, we'll obviously discuss. Right now, it's all prototype stuff. Or you got guys like Sam Burns who are going iron design all the way until their gap wedge. They call it attack, approach, whatever you want to call it. That little tweener wedge, they've been going irons over there at Callaway a little bit, with the TCBs especially. But I keep it traditional. I got a 50, a 56, which is bent to 55, and then a 60. They're all matching. And I just got them, but I have been playing with them a little bit. I got the SM9s.
Oh, nice.
With the
grinds
with the red
did you go
T
with?
stamping on there. So I got the D grind in the 60, which years ago I did a grind fitting when the D just came out, which they said was best for me. So I listened to the people that are really smart. 56, I got the M grind. I don't know if you can see that. I'm probably not holding it the right way. There you go.
That's
M grind.
Yep.
And then the 50, obviously, got the F.
Now,
so that's my wedge setup. I do love the I love the SM8s. I wasn't sure when the SM9s came out whether I was going to keep those in the bag or make the switch. After testing the SM9s a little bit, hitting them on the range on a launch monitor, etc., my goals with wedges are I want them to fly a little bit lower. And that's exactly what the SM9s are made for. So pretty easy upgrade there for me. I don't love hitting floaters with wedge shots. I've never really had a problem like getting the ball up in the air. Probably, if anything, I've struggled with hitting it too high and too much spin, and so I kind of want to get that flight down. So the SM9s are really, honestly, perfect for me. And in terms of shafts, I just have Dynamic Gold Tour Issue X100s.
Oof, big boys.
So, yep, I know people love going S400s in the wedges. I'm just an X100 guy, so...
Well,
no reason to change.
I'm not a big S. I mean, I used to play S400s. Nothing wrong with them. I've moved on since, but my wedge setup is a little erratic at the moment, but it's working right now. Oh, look at that! Are those raws or chrome?
We're already getting some nice rust on there. No, those aren't almost. Man, it's just the way it's rusting. I really haven't hit the wedge too much, so there's not a lot of action on it. Like I just got.
Yeah. Well. I'm going to say, I agree. I think the SM9s are really good. I've been messing with the 54D grind. I just actually got my hands on a 60T grind, which I'm going to take out, which I'm taking out to play with this week.
They love the T
kind of interesting. I know, so I'm excited to go hit that. But my wedge setup's a little different at the moment. So I go from that 45-degree pitching wedge. That's an MG3. And I couldn't get rid of the old boy. So I do have one Vokey in the bag still, and that would be my SM8.
Wow.
50-degree, 12-degree bounce F grind. So this is the high bounce F that they made in the SM8s, and it's raw, rusty. It's got a Modus 125 wedge shaft in it, and it's just I hit it really good last year, and I just really like the wedge. And like I said,
what's stamped on there? My screen's a little blurry. What's stamped on there?
It is they're little skulls, and this was custom ordered through the Vokey Wedgeworks site.
Very cool.
So I did a whole set, and they all had different stamping on them, and this one just happened to have the little skulls dancing all over it. But just a great gap wedge. Like I said, it's got a little more bounce, so in the soft conditions up here, they don't dig quite as much. And, with the full sole, that F grind, it's still easy to hit out of the trap if you got a little longer bunker shot. And then I moved to the old Sugar Daddy TXG Sugar Daddy 2s. I got the BP grind in the 54 and 58. So these are I have a 50. I haven't gotten used to the full grooves on a 50 degree yet. The full face grooves. On the 50, it just looks a little different to me. But these things here are, for 54 and 58, they're great. These ones actually have the Elevate Tour, the True Temper Elevate Tour shafts in them. So they go a little higher. I was still hitting them kind of low when I was at PXG. So I've got this in the 54. Both are the BP grind, which are the Bob Parsons grind. And
kaboom,
so higher
baby.
bounce, 13. Kaboom, baby. So 13 degrees of bounce. But the one thing I do have to say that I like about these, being that they're a little bit high toe, like they're not crazy high toe, but they have, like when you set them down, like they're not crazy high toe, they're not crazy big. They kind of look like a wedge, and that part of it I like, but then you still have, some groove. But yeah, high bounce, even in the 58, I found I really like the high bounce there. You can kind of smack it into the turf and just let it bounce up, and these things have been pretty darn good. So, I've been rocking these for a good amount, but I do fluctuate. I've got, like I said, that 60T I'm going to try, and I've also just messed around last week with that Callaway Jaws Raw, the Z grind, the 60Z grind. So I messed with that a little bit last week. I don't have enough on it to say that it would take the place of the 58 here, but those Sugar Daddy 2s, they're good wedges, man. They made a good wedge. I know people would say, the price is crazy, and I understand that. They're expensive, but I've been hitting them pretty well.
I've always liked the feel and the spin of PXG wedges. My only beef has been, for some reason, the grind with me. Like, the leading edge has always been a little bit too sharp, and I tend to chunk them. Like, I don't have a perfect chipping technique. I usually need a little leeway on that leading edge, because I do tend to get a little steep on it. Dig myself into the turf a little bit too much, and the PXGs have always been a little bit sharp to me. Obviously, I go with the Vokies, so just real quick. I don't know if we explained, but I have been keeping up with the red T stamping, which is an ode to Tiger's 681 T irons from back in the day. And Knudson did a little stamping for me one time on a Mizuno blade. I forget what blade it was. It was an MP blade, I believe.
Yeah.
And you stamped them up with the red T on there, and I loved it. I thought it was a nice ode to Tiger, but obviously my last name's Tursky, and I go with red for the Scarlet Knights. Rutgers. Represent.
Represent. Yeah, but I saw the cup earlier.
Got to represent. Okay, let's get into the flat stick. That's I know everyone's going to be like, I know the Trillium's back in the bag. I know it's a Scotty. Not true.
Still going.
Still rocking with the bin.
Yeah. Nice.
PLD.
It looks a little darker right now.
I think it's probably just the lighting. Yeah. Okay. It hasn't really changed colorways too much. It's got the T like on the hosel, the back of the hosel right there. So nice little custom job. What I love about the putter is that it's a little bit longer. When I went up half an inch, so I'm at 35 and a half right now. It's kind of changed everything. Just put my hands in a better spot. It just suits me. I don't feel like I'm bending over. I'm not straining. I just feel more comfortable putting right now than I ever have. It's got the pin grip on there. And honestly, I've been making more putts than I ever have, like, in my life.
Wow. That's good, man, because, I don't
know if it's the putter, but there is a comfort level there. And I have no sight line on the top, so I don't know if that's like engaging my athletic brain to kind of not be so obsessed with the line and just letting like my instincts take over. But after doing that fitting at Ping, they got me dialed into a PLD. I have been putting the best of my life. So there's no reason to go back to the Trillium right now. I keep it in the living room to mess around with when I want. It's not in the bag. I don't even want to be tempted to go back because I do know that it's just more of a solid putter. Like, it's more forgiving on off-center hits. It has the look that I want, but it has the performance that I need. So that's where I'm at these days. Sorry to
I love
the
that putter.
Trillium fans. I'm letting you down. I promise that I still love Trilliums as much as I ever did. But
no,
I'm
a big fan of that putter. I think that PLD looks really good. I think the specs, everything, but I think I would rock almost the exact same putter. I think the only thing I would do different is I would put a single sight line on the flange. That's it. I mean, everything else about your putter I absolutely love. So
I understand.
Thank you for approving. Definitely solid. Hey, no
right,
problem.
Let's see what this is.
This one's pretty easy. I think if you're anybody who's followed me a little bit, this one there is another putter. Like, I do have to say that Lab Mez one is pretty darn good. Mm-hmm. It's been back and forth between this putter and that one, but this is a putter I've essentially played 2 years. This is just the new version, but it is the Bettinardi BB8W,
wow.
which I've pretty much stripped all the paint out of. It's all other than the sight line on the back. I've pretty much stripped it all out, so it's just all black, and it's pretty much naked. But yeah, a little wider blade there on this bad boy. It's not quite as traditional.
I wasn't expecting blade style at all. I thought for sure it was going to be a bigger mallet or a fanged mallet. I thought it was going to be an Odyssey number 7. I just didn't know what model exactly. This surprises me, and I'm proud of you.
Really? So I played the last year's version of this, the 2021 one, and it sounded not near as good as this. This one has definitely more solid. It's got a little deeper milling to it. Last year's one was a little smoother, a little firmer, made a little ting sound to it when you hit it, but I putted well with it, so I didn't care. Had a little ting to it, which I didn't love. This one came out as soon as I hit the first putt. I basically was like, yeah, it's you got a shot. But putting really well with it for whatever reason. It just feels comfortable. Shaft is going to be it's going to be the Fujikura MC putter shaft, the 115 firm, which I just really like this shaft. It kind of softens the putter just a little bit. It's got about the same stiffness as steel, maybe just a touch stiffer. It's not crazy stout like someone like the LA Golf stuff and all that. It's just kind of got that matte gray finish, which is pretty cool. And then the grip on here is a Lambkin Deep Etch, just rubber. I like the cord version better, but when I got this shaft and put it on here, I could not find a deep edge cord to save my life. So I went just standard deep etch, and I've been putting well with it. So I do have some deep etch cords now, but I have no real reason to change because I've been putting decent with it. So this bad boy has kind of been my guy lately, and yeah, it's been a long time since. I mean, before last year, it'd probably been 10 years since I gamed a blade putter. I was always a mallet guy. Now I do have another putter on order that should be here in a couple weeks. So that is a blade or a mallet, so we'll see. But yeah, this is the guy right now that I've been rocking, that I've been gaming. So
love it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was disappearing from screen there for a second. I was actually just trying to reach in my bag to get like a couple handfuls of golf balls to see what I was working with, because I knew we were going to get into golf balls. Now, if you asked me, you're like, Tursky, what golf ball do you play? I would say Titleist Pro V1X.
Yeah.
I currently have no Titleist Pro V1Xs in at least in this handful. I probably keep 12, 15 balls around. I play desert golf. I tend to lose a lot of golf balls out there. I also like, when you're playing by yourself or you're around a short game green, I like having extra balls around so you can just hit a bunch of golf balls. You don't have to worry about like, hey, throw me a ball. It's like, I got plenty.
Yeah.
So I was just going to read through what golf balls I have in my bag currently. I got a Bannon Dunes logo ball that's a Titleist Velocity. There's one.
Oh.
I got a Bridgestone Torby XX, which actually says Tiger on the side.
Yeah, the Tiger ball.
A Taylormade range ball. I don't know how that got there or where it's from, but it's in there. I have a Callaway Chrome Soft, the Plus Boy.
Nice.
I got another Tiger Bridgestone. I have a Callaway practice ball. I'm telling you, it's just
random hodgepodge.
Just super random. And then these are actually the golf balls that I've been playing with. I don't have a lot of them, but I really like playing with them because, one, I think they're funny. Two, I think the technology on them is really good. Like, I might give a serious look to TP5 X versus Pro V1X, or kind of just figure out what model I'm going to. But these are the Taylormade TP5 golf balls. I don't know if the screen's going to be able to pick this up, but I got
Is it the bacon and
TP5
eggs
golf
one?
balls with the bacon and eggs, and there's a coffee mug on them.
Yeah.
I think these are the Colin Morikawa special. I don't think he actually plays the golf balls, but in the Pix layout, they have two strips of bacon and a sunny side up egg, and then right in the center you got the coffee mug. So pretty cool golf balls there. I mean, you got to keep extra golf balls on deck. I'm not always going to go out to the store and buy Titleist Pro V1X new golf balls and use them every round I play. That's just a budget thing.
Yeah, well, as many as I lose, that is tough. I am kind of in the same boat. I'm more of a Pro V1 guy than I am Pro V1X. But, just
stunting on them with the fresh box, okay.
I want to say there only might be 3 sleeves. Oh, no, there's 4 sleeves. It's a full box. All right. I want to say this one. I was like, this one might only have a couple sleeves in it.
Why don't you ship one of those sleeves on over here?
But I am like you. I have, in like a drawer over here, I've got the Strixon Z-Star Diamonds. I've got Strixon Z-Star XVs. I got TP5s, TP5Xs. I think I have some bacon and egg ones over there. I definitely have the pizza.
I love those.
I have the pizza ones.
Yeah.
I think I just used the $ one, the money one, but I had a bunch of those. And then I've got some Bridgestone Tour BXs over there. Like, I've just got a handful of stuff, and then I keep a little box of like scuff balls that are kind of scuffed or beat up. That I'm not really going to play, but But I'll take them out to my net and hit balls into my net or whatever. Just kind of a shag bag of sorts. And yeah, like, I've literally got a little of everything over there in terms of golf balls. And like I said, if I'm playing, I'm probably going to play Pro V1. But TP5 has been really good. I've liked the TP5 for years. I think it's a great ball in the wind. And I've got a handful of those. The only thing I don't have a ton of Callaway balls over there. I got I think a few Chrome Soft X's, and that's it. So I don't have any more LSs or any more standard Chrome Softs. I think I burned through those last year. But like I said, if I'm playing, for money, I'll probably bring the Pro V1s out.
I'll when we do, because we're gonna do a merch off, like our top 10 pieces of golf merchandise, and I'll bring it. I got some heat with the golf balls. I got some stuff people ain't seen, and I got some stuff that are signed golf balls and just ones that mean a lot type thing. So I'll bust those out during the merch off. But this was our What's in the Bag episode. This has been really fun. I loved seeing what you had. I liked surprising you a little bit because I got some new stuff in the bag, so that was fun. I did have a whole other segment planned for this podcast, but the What's in the Bag kind of expectedly took a while to get through, so I think we're probably going to cap the episode off here. If you're listening, we're going to put up an Instagram post at our podcast account. It's at TG2WRX. That's at TG2WRX. We'll put up a little post where you can vote for whose setup you liked better. If you want to see, if you're just listening to the podcast and you didn't watch the video, which is up on YouTube, Golf WRX Radio. If you didn't get to see us going through the clubs and you want to see what we're talking about, I think we're going to post as many in-hand. How do you want to go about the post? Do you want to do in-hand photos, just a photo of the whole bag, or how do you want to go about that?
Yeah, I think we do, we'll try to, we'll see what we can do. We'll try to Photoshop the initial image to be kind of both bags, and then we'll do a couple photos of, the whole bag, the putters, whatever. We'll do a couple photos of some of the clubs and see where it goes. So there'll be a few there that you can check it out. And yeah, just tell whose bag if you had to play one, whose bag would you choose to play? If you had to go play around with one bag, who would you go? So
I think fans are going to do the right thing. They're going to vote for Tursky over on at TG2WRX on Instagram. Knudson, this was a pleasure. And
it was awesome.
Next time, I'll see you all be in Scotland. So we're going to have plenty to talk about on the next podcast. But this was a fun episode, kind of going into our setups. People ask us literally all the time. I don't know if people hit you up as much as they do me. I'm sure that they do. You have a whole other show. If you want to throw in a little plug there real quick, if you like Knudson's equipment knowledge, he goes way more in depth over on his other podcast.
I do. If you want to, if you feel like you haven't gotten enough of me on Friday mornings, then you can get me on Thursday. I have a show, the Club Junkie, and we talk a lot about clubs that I'm hitting and stuff I like, stuff that works, doesn't work, whatever. So it's a lot of fun. I get to do 2 shows, and it's pretty awesome. So. But this one was fun, man. Like I said, I was excited to see your bag. I had some ideas of what I thought was in it. I was totally wrong on some of them. But
Good.
then, like I said, I knew what putter. I pretty much figured the wedges would be a Vokia. So those things like that I kind of knew, but threw me off a little bit on the irons, threw me on the 3-wood, and kind of threw me on the driver. I don't know why. I just didn't expect that to be there. So it was
I'm not
fun,
completely predictable. See?
No,
I can switch it up.
Not at all, man. I was kind of shocked. So I like your bag. I think I could play your bag. I could do it.
I'd rather play mine than yours. So I don't know what that says about who won, but you can cast your vote over at TG2WRX on Instagram. This was 2 guys talking golf, and we'll see you next week from Scotland.
Still go, go, go.